Welcome to Holistic Weight Loss. We are really excited that you decided to join this special event because you're about to learn the key 4 steps to a slimmer, stronger, and more vital you. I'm pleased to say that today you are going to be learning directly from Mandakini Foux. In case you haven't met her before, Mandakini is a wellness and nutrition educator, coach, and international speaker with a Bachelor of Science and a diploma in yoga therapy. She is the creator of the Ultimate Wellness Reset Method. For more than 30 years, Mandakini has been passionate about helping women from all walks of life maximize their wellness potential and increase energy and confidence while reclaiming their youthfulness. Utilizing nutrition, exercise and supplementation, and specializing in hormones and menopause, and rapid and healthy weight loss, she guides her clients to feeling energized and in control of slimmer and healthier bodies. With her unique ability of identifying the root cause of people's problems and her knowledgeable and caring guidance to achieve tangible results, Mandakini is much loved and appreciated by those who work with her. So please get ready to learn, get ready for change that lasts, and get ready to take your health and wellness to the next level. Please join me in welcoming, with a big round of applause, Mandakini Foux.
Welcome, welcome. Thank you for the warm introduction and welcome to our holistic weight loss presentation where you'll learn the 4 steps to a slimmer, stronger, and more vital you. I'm really excited that you decided to join us tonight because for some of you, I know your life is going to change tonight. Now, having done this for a while now, I know that normally people that join are attracted to our presentations fall into 3 major categories. Clearly, our topic is holistic weight loss. So the first category is ladies who wish to slim down, whether you've tried other things before, whether with partial success or no success. So just hands up if you're here because you want to slim down. Hey, great. Some practice for getting a little bit of interaction. I know we're just in these little squares, but the best interaction is just, raising our hand. The other group of women that are attracted to our presentations are women that want to be healthier, not just want to slim down, but want to feel healthy, want to feel vital, want to stay as strong and capable and looking good for as long as possible. If you're in that category, feel free to raise your hand again. You can be in both 3 categories. And the third category of women that are attracted to our offerings are women that are dealing with menopause issues, whether pre, during, or post, and still dealing with the lingering effects of menopause. And you could belong to all 3 categories because it can all happen all together. So either way, I'm really, really happy that you're here because my passion is to help women exactly like yourself. Now, just before we get started, I'd like to invite you to just take a moment, to think about why is that important to you? Why is it important for you to slim down? Why is it important for you to be healthier? Why is it important for you to look good? Why is it important to you to get over these symptoms? So just take a moment to take it all in, because our reason why is the most important thing, and it's the reason that will propel us to go forward. Now, what we're going to learn tonight, let me just share with you our agenda for tonight. Tonight, we're going to go through the main reasons why we gain weight and why it gets harder to lose weight as we age. And we're going to talk about the 4 simple steps that we can implement to get a rapid yet healthy slimming process. Now, at the end, please stay at the end because I do have a gift for you at the end. So hang out with us there. And just before we get started, allow me to introduce myself. For those of you that haven't met me before, my name is Mandakini Foux. And if you were with me over 30 years ago in the early 90s, 91, you would have found me in Sydney, CBD, George Street. I was then a financial consultant. I was a young engineer working in finances. And more importantly, relevant to our topic, I was in my late 20s at the time. I'm 61 now. At the time, I was at my late 20s, and I was dealing with acne, with pimples. And as a young woman in her 20s, I did not like that. I did not like to look in the mirror and see those pimples. So when I reached out for help, at the time I reached out for, I went to the skin doctor and they gave me antibiotics and a really strong contraceptive pill. If you've ever heard, Diana, 35, it was so strong that I had to have a liver function test every 3 months just to check that it wasn't damaging my liver. And, while I was taking the medication, the symptoms disappeared. The pimples went away. But whenever I stopped the medication, it would come back. And I got very frustrated to the point that I came to a point that I made a decision that that's it. I want to find a system that will solve it from the inside out. I knew that taking all these medication, no matter what the doctor says, oh, yeah, you can take this antibiotic for the rest of your life. We give it to babies. And, after a year and a half, I knew that staying on the antibiotics every day was not very good. So I made a decision to find something that will resolve it from the inside out. And I found the system that I will be sharing with you tonight. Fast forward, and I loved so much the change, the results that I saw in myself. And I felt that I left finances and I left engineering and I transitioned full-time to natural therapies and complementary medicine and helping people with their health. Now, fast forward about 20 so years ago, 21 in 2003, I was introduced to the field of hormones. And I found that fascinating because it explains so many aspects of our health. And I found it so fascinating that I delved all the way and I made it such a big thing that I was lucky enough to travel the country and the world, educating people about their hormonal system, men and women, believe it or not. And then relatively to our talk tonight, 11 years ago, when I turned 50, my personal menopause hit. And it was a bit of an eye-opener. Just ladies, I don't know if you're around menopause, was it an eye-opener for you, what happened through menopause? Yeah. So I thought that given I have taken so much good health, I was already eating well, I was doing yoga, I was doing so many good things for my health. I had no idea that menopause is going to hit me so hard. Look, now I know, having worked with a lot of women through menopause, I know that they weren't as strong as symptoms as I see other women suffering. But still, for me, they were very uncomfortable, the hot sweats, the grumpiness, the not sleeping, the weight, all of that, none of it was pleasant. So I was determined, having walked the path of wellness for all my life, I was determined to resolve this in a natural way. I was hell-bent on not taking HRT, not that I say that others shouldn't, everybody should make their own decision. But for me, it was not going to be the right decision. So that led me to really refining everything that I had known and was teaching to be more specific to help women through the process of menopause and postmenopause, which really brings us to where we are today. Now, in those 30-something years that I have been working with people, I have found that there's 3 major problems. There's a lot of problems, but these are 3 that I identified and maybe you can relate to. One is that there's so many approaches to health. Just hands up if you can sometimes get confused from all the conflicting ideas you get. Absolutely. So somebody will tell you, don't eat carbs. The other one will tell you, eat carbs. Somebody will tell you 5 small meals a day, 1 meal a day. Yes, fasting, no fasting. Lots of protein, no protein. I mean, they can do your head in. So it gets very, very confusing, and hence why I like to share what we're going to be sharing tonight. Now, the other thing that I find, another problem that I find in the marketplace, in the wellness area, and in particularly the slimming area, is the lack of understanding about hormones. And, you know, having traveled and educated people for more than 20 years about the important subject of hormones that govern and manages our lives on so many levels, I find that it's really, there's a lack of understanding, and it's really important for people to understand how it impacts their life, and more importantly, how to manage it. And the third area, which is very, you know, maybe it's the first time you ever hear it, if it's the first time that we've met, is the importance of strengthening internal organs. We've all heard how important it is to exercise. Yeah, just hands up if you've heard that you need to exercise, and especially if you're on a slimming journey, you certainly need to exercise. But maybe the concept of strengthening actually our internal organs is not so prevalent, unless you have been to my talks or worked with me before. So clearly, my intention is to empower you. So you're educated, so you have the knowledge, so you know what to do, and take the steps for yourself. And I love it when people give me the feedback that, Mandakini, you're about empowering people. It's the biggest compliment for me, because this is absolutely what I'm about. Now, when we talk about our journey, our path to a slimmer, stronger, and happy you, there's 4 major steps to cover, 4 major steps that we need to talk about. The first step is education. Now, there is a lot to learn about when it comes to health. Now, one other thing, just before we proceed, need to get an agreement here. I know that you ladies have come to a talk about weight loss, and tonight, weight loss and wellness is going to be interchangeable, because I know that you girls don't just want to lose weight. You want to be healthier, you want to be slimmer, you want to be more energetic, you want to be healthier. Just hands up if that's you. You want to be healthy, not just slimmer and smaller. Absolutely. Yeah, great. I'm happy. So you're in the right place. So for me and for us, when we follow our 4 steps system, it's about improving our health to a point where the excess weight just drops away, because it's kind of a symptom of your wellness not being 100% where you want it to be. Okay, so I'm glad we're in the right place and we have this understanding. Now, there's 4 major reasons. I've distilled about 8 major reasons that we put on weight as we age, and why it gets harder to lose that weight as we mature, ladies. Sorry, no other way of saying it. So, and we're gonna drill down for you to get the most out of tonight, we're gonna drill down on 3 major topics. But let's just go over the 8 major reasons. One of them is the decline of digestion. Our digestion peaks when we are in our 20s, late 20s, and then the steady decline means that we need to eat more and more foods to absorb, because our absorption is not to its optimal level. The other thing is stress. Our life is getting stressed, more and more stressed, and a lot of times stress can lead both to decline in hormones, which we'll talk about, but also who has found himself overeating and eating the wrong foods when you're stressed. Suddenly the chocolate, the chips, whatever comes out, so stressful eating. Acid and alkaline is this topic that we need to understand, because when our body is too acid, the body is not going to let go of fat. We've got the issue of empty foods with our, with what we've done to our food chain. We need to consume so much more food just to get the good nutrients that we used to get in the past. We also have the issue of fat versus muscle, especially for those of us that have yo-yo diet over years. I've been dealing with weight since I've been 12. So, if you've yo-yo dieted, it's a big issue to make sure that we have enough muscle to burn the fat, and we focus on fat loss rather than just weight loss. Now, the main topic that I want to drill on tonight is the topic of hormonal decline. Now, as we mature, we have the issue of hormonal decline. But just before we need to establish what are hormones. Having spent so much time educating people about hormones, I know that when I mention the word hormones, the first thing that people think about is women and reproductive organs. So first, I'd like to tell you that both men and women have hormones, so they're important for all of us. And it's not just about reproduction. On the contrary, the older we get, the more we should care about hormones, because our hormones are in charge of our sleep, of our happiness, of our mental clarity, of our sex drive, our hunger, our metabolism, our mental alertness, our joy, our stress, our temperature regulation. It really governs our life. Our hormones control our life in a major, major way. Now, the thing is, a little bit like we saw with our digestion, our hormonal levels peak in our late 20s because they're there for our bodies to be stronger, make babies, and then the slow decline. Now, to give you an idea, once we're in our, when we're dead, it's zero. So I'm just going to give you the example of DHEA. Just hands up, who's heard about DHEA before, the mother hormone? Perfect, great. If you haven't, that's okay. The mother hormone, DHEA, is referred to the mother hormone. It's also the hormone that estrogen is made of. And to give you an idea, we peak in our 20s, but when we're about 50, when we're down to 50, we're down to about 50% of our hormones that we had in our youth. When we're at postmenopause, 60, 70, we're down to even 30% or lower. Give you an example, have a look at this chart. Now, this is a bit of an eye-opener, this chart. This is the levels of our hormones. Just take estrogen, for example, because estrogen is the currency of our brain. A lot of women, when they go through menopause and even postmenopause, always complain about brain fog. And the reason is that when we have this decline in estrogen for women, it's actually the currency is what lights up the brain. And when we don't have enough of it, that's one of the reasons that brain fog can start. But let me give you an idea. So before menopause, these are a level of our estrogen. Perimenopause, starting the decline. Menopause, decline. Postmenopause is a little bit of a desert. Now, you can say, hey, Mandakini, I came to a weight loss talk, not to a hormone talk. That's okay, because there is a big connection. There's a big link between our hormones and our digestion, our ability to lose weight. Who's noticed that as I think that I'm pretty talking to all of us. When you go post 40, 50, you start feeling that fat that gets stuck around our waist, kind of doesn't want to go anywhere. It's as if somebody had just glued that fat there, right? Just hands up who's dealt with that before or can relate to what I'm saying. Yeah, okay. So the hormones, our hormones have a lot to do with it. Let me show you. So our hormones, basically, I mentioned hormones are basically, we have glands in our body. And our glands produce these hormones, these chemical messengers that go around. So, for example, thyroxine is a hormone that is produced by our thyroid. It's important for metabolism. Insulin is a hormone that is produced by our pancreas, that is part of the hormonal system. Insulin is in charge of breaking down sugar. It's in charge of fat storage. Ghrelin is a hormone that is in charge of telling us how satiated, how full we are. It's it also has to do with the blood sugar regulation. Estrogen has to do with fat distribution. Now, the thing is that for a moment, what I'd like you to, hopefully everybody's still awake, you're taking it in. Just show me you're alive there. Hey, excellent. Okay, very good. So I know it's a lot of information and you don't have to understand it all. Even if you understand some of it, it will just give you an understanding, because I get women, getting so frustrated. I talk to women every day. Mandakini, I don't know. I'm doing all the right thing. I'm eating the right foods. I'm exercising. I'm doing everything right. Why can't I shift that weight? So the hormone model really holds a lot of the answers. So that's why I want to focus it on you. I want you to understand it. So if you forget about all the names of the hormones, because there's lots of names, estrogen, progesterone, you name it, just forget about all those words and just think about the hormones like one system. Just think about it as one system. And if you think about it as one system, like one factory, to improve a system, all you need to do is three things. You can impact on what goes in, you can impact on how well the system works, and you can impact on what depletes the system. If you get a grip on that, you can literally hack the hormonal system. Think about money. Think about money. Who likes more money? Yes, we all like more money. Okay, so to feel that you have more money, to be more affluent, you have three options. One option is to get more money coming in. The second option is to improve your money habits, because if you're better with money, you're going to know how to spend it more, more reasonable or better. And reduce the unnecessary expenditure. Now, if you look at the hormonal system, it's exactly the same. When we get a grip on, when we can impact the input, how well the hormonal system functions, and impact the output, there is a lot of good things. We can literally hack the hormonal system. And what that means is that then your body has more hormones to do things like the thyroid to work better, for our insulin to have enough and not to have high blood sugar levels, and so on and so forth. Now, let me share with you what happens when we put those principles into action. Ute, at 59, came to me and says she was at the tail end of she was 59, so she was already in menopause for like 9 years. She was frustrated with the fact that she put on weight. She was feeling tired. She had still the hot flushes. She was still feeling sluggish. She has a younger boyfriend. She didn't like the fact that her vagina was dry. She couldn't control her sugar craving. She would eat like packets of chocolate at a time. And we started working together. And in the space of 6 weeks, she lost about 6 kg. She started sleeping better. Her vagina got moist. Her cravings were gone. She couldn't believe that, she wasn't craving the chocolate anymore. She was astonished. That was her word. She was astonished by how well she felt. And she lost a total of 32 centimeters. Sylvia came a little bit later to us. I have known her for years because, I've known her a few years ago, but she came to me when she was 64, still very, very frustrated with her symptoms. And Sylvia was doing a lot for her health. Sylvia was going twice a week to PT. She was doing Pilates. She was taking supplements. She was doing so many things for her health, and she was still dealing with such strong menopause issues. The itchy skin, I don't even know if you know that that's one of the big symptoms of menopause, when she felt like ants were crawling under her skin. She was itchy all the time. She couldn't sleep. She had hip pain that was debilitating for her because she loves riding horses, and it was so painful that she couldn't ride horses. When we met, she couldn't sleep properly. She was like 14 kg overweight. She really felt, and she wasn't in a good place because 3 years prior to that, she has lost her husband to cancer. So it was a very, very tough time in her life. So when she reached out, she says, Mandakini, I want to do something. I have to do something about my health. I don't like how my life is going at the moment. And we started working together. And in the space of 8 weeks, she started sleeping. The pain was nearly gone. She lost like 8 kg. Her pain was gone. The itchiness was gone. She was feeling so good. I kept getting those, I told you that she loves riding horses. Horses are her life. So when she started slimming down and feeling better and the pain in her hip was gone, I keep getting all these photos of her riding her horse. And fast forward, I'm not saying that that's the result of our program, but she was looking so good and feeling so good that last year she got married. She found a new man and got married. I don't promise it as part of result of working with us, but you know, everything is possible, right? Okay, so step number one is education. We need to understand what's happening with our body because knowledge is power. Now, the second step in in your path to a holistic weight loss and a slimmer, happier you is understanding nutrition. Now, there is there's no surprise, right? Because here we are in a weight loss talk. So understanding nutrition is very, very important. Now, there's a lot to understand about nutrition. That's why things get so confusing. And that's why you get so many conflicting messages, because you need to understand gut function. You need to understand foods that nourish and deplete the hormonal system. Remember, we just talked about that. You need to understand foods that will harm you, foods that will be beneficial. We talked about acid and alkaline, changing foods for the season, the emotion and mental impacts that foods have, the cycle of foods. Now, there's a lot to learn about foods, and you need to learn all of it to be empowered, not just for slimming, but for better health. Now, I'd like to hone in tonight on the topic of gut health, because, okay, just hands up, who has heard how important gut health is? Yes, you need to have been living under a rock if you haven't heard about how important gut health now, because everybody's talking about gut health. For me, it's a lot of fun because I've been talking about gut health for more than 30 years. So it's nice to have company. Now, gut health is crucial because our gut impacts on our mental ability, our emotional well-being, our immune system. Literally, it impacts our immune system. It impacts, now when we come to foods, it impacts our cravings. So when we're looking at our gut, I like to think about our gut like, we have good bugs and bad bugs. And that balance of the good, bad bugs and bad bugs is what will determine the state of our health. I love to use the analogy of a garden. Maybe some of you have a veggie garden or just a garden. I know it's a very loaded and simple question, but when you want carrots, what do? We have to plant carrots. You don't plant beetroot and get upset that you're not getting carrots because you know that you have to plant for what you want. It's exactly the same with our gut. For our gut to ask for the right foods, for the gut to do the right thing, we need to plant the right, correct gut bacteria that will impact our health and starve or mortally wound the bad bugs, because the bad bugs are the bullies that take over and fight the good bacteria. It's a little bit like the weeds in the garden. You want to get rid of the weeds if you want good plants. Now, the plot thickens a little bit because we did talk about our hormones, and there are studies now, we talk about hormones, we talk about the gut, they come together because, and if it's too much information for 6:30 at night, that is okay, not a problem. You don't have to get it all. That's fine. You may need to hear it more than once. The thing is that in the gut lining, they call it the mucosal lining of our gut actually produces hormones. And surprise, surprise, those hormones have a lot to do with our digestion, with our insulin tolerance, with our glucose tolerance, with our fat storage. So what that means is that there's a relationship. So once we get the gut better, we can also get our hormones better, and especially the hormones that have to do with our slimming, with our fat distribution, and so on. So let me just share what happens when you put these things into practice. Melissa Humphreys, registered nurse for 39 years, at the tail end of her menopause. 58 seems to be a bit of a magic number when you realize that you've done everything you know by yourself and maybe it's time to ask for help, reach out for help. She was very frustrated. She came to me with 3 goals. She says, Mandakini, I want to lose weight, I want to sleep better, and I want to get rid of this hip pain that I have. By the way, ladies, if you're here for the first time, you may or may not know that hip issues, sacroiliac issue, or any sacrum issues is also a symptom of menopause. A lot of people don't know that. Now, I said to her, fine. And the other thing that was concerning her, she has just had done blood tests, and her GP was quite concerned because in addition to cholesterol and blood sugar levels, they found that her liver markers were elevated, like as if she was an alcoholic, and she was barely drinking alcohol. She was very, very frustrated. We started working together, implementing these principles that I'm sharing with you tonight. And in the space of 6 weeks, she lost 6.5 kg, 30 centimeters from around her body, and 10 just from around her waist, which I'll tell you in a minute why it's so significant. She also got more energy. She was sleeping better. The hip pain was gone. And the funny thing was that she was exercising a lot before coming to me. She actually has her sons have a fitness business. She was doing exercises, fitness, like almost every day with her sons. The thing is that I'll mention it a bit later, but maybe it's a bit, at our age, 50 plus, exercising with a 25-year-old fitness trainer is not the right thing. They don't know our needs. It's the wrong thing, right? So anyway, she got started in the space of 6 weeks. She had all these benefits. And the best news was on the way back, she went and had her test done again after we worked together. And she rang me from the phone, actually, from the car, telling me, hey, Mandakini, you wouldn't believe, she just texted me her results. You wouldn't believe. My GP was amazed. He couldn't believe. He's never seen such turnaround in such a short period of time. Her enzyme level were good. Her cholesterol was good. So she was very excited. Nicole, one of our younger participants, one of my younger clients, she joined us. She reached out at the age of 45, very frustrated with her weight, has worked so hard. She's very organized young woman. She's a bit of a powerhouse, but she was struggling with her weight. She said, Mandakini, I work so hard. I'd go for 3 weeks, lose a kg, go for one dinner, have nachos with my mom, and it all comes back. I really need help. We started working together. In the space of 4 weeks, she lost 4.5 kg and 9 centimeters from around her waist. The reason I'm putting these nice clothes of the picture of her outfit is because she had all these clothes that she was about to give away. I see that a lot with women. They put all these nice clothes in the back of the wardrobe, and then it comes to a point where they can't face it anymore. And it's like, okay, let's give away those clothes. I'm never going to fit into them again. Lucky she didn't give them away because she was able to fit into them. Now, the reason I'm mentioning over and over the waistline is because our waistline is a very important indicator of our health. Whether you ask the Cancer Council, whether you ask the Heart Foundation, whether you ask the Australian Institute of Heart and Welfare, they'll all tell you the same, that our goal circumference, ideally in the perfect world for women, should be under 80 centimeters. If it goes between 80 to 88, you are increasing your risk for heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and some forms of cancer. If it goes over 88, you're really in a high risk zone. It's interesting. I think it was May, a lady came to this talk a few months ago, and she thought that there was nothing, that her health was absolutely fine. And she saw this slide, she got this slide, and she went after this presentation. She never thought she had a weight issue. She never thought she had any health issues. And after she saw this slide, she was like, oh my God. She went and measured her waistline, and it was 97. She was in shock. She texted me, oh my God, Mandakini, 97, can you help? Can we do something about it? I said, sure, no problem. She decided we had our chat. I invited her to a chat like I will invite you at the end of tonight. And we had the chat. She decided to get started working with me, which was fine. And then she's also a nurse. Being a nurse, she decided to have her tests as well, her pre. She heard about the other nurse like you have, Melissa. So she decided to have her test as well. Turned out she didn't know it, but she was already diabetic, that the doctor wanted to give her medication. Her cholesterol was at a level that she was ready for statins. And it turns out that she had osteoporosis. Now, all of these, she didn't know. She had no idea. If she wouldn't have done those tests, she wouldn't have known. The good news is that once we started working together, actually in the space of about 4 weeks, she went back to have her blood test. Her blood sugar level went down, her cholesterol was normalized, all of it was fine. And now we're working on her bone density, which is a longer process. Bones take longer than just cholesterol and blood sugar level. So that is an important thing. So we covered 2 topics, ladies. I know it's a lot of information, but hey, information is power. So step number 1 is education. Step number 2 is nutrition. Step number 3 is activity. And I'm calling activity because you all know how important exercise is. But as I mentioned before, one of the areas that gets overlooked or misunderstood or not known even about is the importance of strengthening our internal organs. I love this slide. It always makes me laugh. I hope you like it too. Anyway, so the thing is that having spent all these years, these 30 years caring about health and learning and educating and sharing health, the information that I share is a fusion of both the Eastern approach and the Western approach. Now, just we're curious if anybody here has ever had acupuncture in their life, or maybe Chinese medicine. Yeah, perfect, excellent, I'm in the right room. So you may or may not know that behind acupuncture or shiatsu or Thai massage or acupressure, any of those, doesn't matter, they all have a system, an oriental system called the 5-element system. And what that 5-element system is a model that is there to explain our world, our universe, our seasons, our functions, and our body and the body functions. Now, this is a slide. When you look at those 5 elements, there's channels all over our body that explain how the body works. So, you saw at the moment we're in spring, moving soon into summer, which means the different organs that are involved. But when you're looking normally at weight loss, a very important organ is, for example, the stomach organ, because stomach is the one that needs to be tighter. When the stomach is tighter, you have less food cravings, you feel the less need to eat. Large intestine is really important because elimination is important. We talked about stress, the hormonal system governs, we talked about how important the hormones are. So when you went to the acupuncturist, if they were a good acupuncturist, what they would have done, they would have taken your pulse and checked your pulse and determined which of your organs, which of the meridians are not working optimally. Then they would have stuck needles in different points along those meridians to create balance in your body. Now, we work on the same principle, except for the fact that we don't use needles. We use special exercises to balance the energy in these organs. So what we have, the system that we use is Japanese yoga therapy, which has very, very specific exercises to deal with each aspect of our health and each aspect of those channels, energy channels, meridians that we mentioned. So for example, we would have exercises that are specific to tighten the stomach organ, because when how you want to keep eating sometimes, maybe not you somebody that wants to keep eating. Sometimes you want to keep eating. That's the stomach wanting stimulation. When we feel a bit clogged up, that's the gut not working optimally. right? Remember how much we talked, how proud I was of all the ladies that have tightened their waistline. We have special exercises to tighten the waistline. And that all happens in a very simple way through Zoom. We do these exercises together. Now, fresh off the press, I literally just got this text from this lady on Saturday. So Karen, who is a wellness practitioner, and the reason you see her with this hat is just she's crazy about line dancing. She goes line dancing like, I think every day of the week almost, she goes line dancing, and on weekends. So when she came to me about 14 weeks ago, we've been working together for 14 weeks. She has actually sat where you sat in May this year at this presentation, and she came. She booked a call like I'll invite you to do, and we had our chat, and she says, you know, Mandakini, I'm doing all the right things. I am eating well, I'm exercising, I go to the gym, my diet is good. I don't know why I can't shift the weight. She says, I don't have a lot to lose, but I do want to lose some weight. And I said, okay, no problem. Let's put these principles into practice. So in the space of 14 weeks, she lost 10 kg, 34 centimeters from around her body, and 14 centimeters from around her waist. Girls, remember how excited I get by this number. When you lose centimeters off your waist, this is what makes me happy. I know it's a bit sad. These are the things that make me happy, right? But she also, for her joy was that she lost 5 centimeters around her arm. She says, I was never able to shift the weight around my arm. Now, the thing was that she said that she used to go for 2 years. She went to the gym, and her words, for years, I used to bash myself at the gym and couldn't lose the weight. And just putting the principles that we are talking about, she says it was easy. She was feeling strong for the yoga. She actually really loved those exercises. She felt the strength, the belly strength, the core strength. The list goes on and on, ladies. Fiona, who sat where you sat in March 23. She's been my source of inspiration for a long time. Now I have more sources of inspiration. I'm surrounded by sources of inspiration. Her goal when she booked the call after this talk, she had a goal of 20 kg. She says, Mandakini, her back was hurting so bad. She has a job standing. She works in hospitality. She has to stand for hours on end for a whole day. She would come really crippled with pain home. Her shoulders were so bad. They were talking about surgery for her shoulders. She couldn't put them behind her neck. She says, Mandakini, I don't know if you can help me, but I also hate vegetables. Okay, and she says, when I start with sugar, it's half a packet of chocolate. I can't stop it. So in the space of 6 months, she lost her 24 kg, which was fantastic. She was really very diligent implementing all our principles. 66 centimeters from around her body. Her back got stronger. Her joints were better. No more talk about surgery. She can put her hands behind her neck. Then she wanted to keep working on her thyroid. We kept working together. It took us about 12 and something months to turn around her thyroid because the doctor wanted to put her on medication. She was really keen not to. She wanted to do it naturally without medication. Ladies, I can keep going. I was going to show you my folder. I have a folder of these. I think I'll share with you about Donna, because Donna, the reason I'm going to share with you about Donna actually has cerebral palsy, and she has had it from birth. So that means that her whole, if you've known people with cerebral palsy, her whole right side is kind of twisted, the arm and the leg. So when she said she wanted to work with me and she wanted to do the yoga and she wanted to, I was a little bit, I was like, wow, I wonder if she could do it with all of those body limitations. But I thought, who am I to say that she couldn't do it? If she wants to do it, let's just see. So in the space of 7 weeks, she really just came for weight loss and to get over her night sweet cravings. That's all she wanted when she reached out and started working with me. But first of all, she was doing the yoga, which blew me away. Good for her. And after several weeks of implementing those principles, she started getting sensations in her side that she's never felt sensations. So that was kind of a goosebump moment for me and for, yeah. So I just wanted to share that because sometimes people hear yoga and they have these ideas about yoga, but our yoga is really just certain exercises that we put our body in for a certain result. Okay, so how are we going? So we had three principles. We talked about education, we talked about nutrition, and we talked about activity. Now there's a fourth step, which is very, very important. And no surprise, it's the area of support. Now I get sometimes a little bit frustrated when I seem actually a little bit heartbroken, more than frustrated, because I would see, now what do you do when, let me just ask you, what do you do when your car is not working very well? Take it to the mechanic. What do you do when we need to fix the plumbing? You call the plumber. What do we do when we need help with our bookkeeping or our finances? We go to the accountant or financial consultant. But somehow, when it comes to our body, women seem to have this unbelievable amount of shame that it's not okay for them to reach out for help with their body. It's okay to reach out for help and to pay professionals for everything. But the one thing that is so important, that your energy, how you feel about yourself, your back, your weight, your body, which you're not getting another one. Newsflash, you have this body and you have to make the most out of it till the end. You're not getting another one. That somehow I see women, no, I should do it by myself, because if I'm not doing it by myself, something is wrong with me. I'm not good enough. That's one of the things that break my heart. Why not hire a professional that can tell you exactly what to do, keep you accountable, make your process fast, specific, know exactly what you need to focus in every point in time, and make the process easier and quicker, right? That is my logic. Anyway, so there's three types of support, ladies. When we look at support, there's three types of support to consider. One aspect of support is the support of a system, the correct system. I can't tell you how many women, like Karen that I told you before, Karen that went to the gym, being so dedicated to a system that is wrong for you and not delivering the results. The other type of support is the support of a mentor, a coach. Somebody can see you from the outside that can save you time, because they can be so specific to guide you with what you need at every point in time. And the third one is the support of a buddy, or, it's like when you go for a walk with your friend, that's kind of the support. You made the appointment and then you're going for the walk, which is fantastic. But none of them replace each other. They're all important for your success. Let me give you the example of Kayleen. I've known actually Kayleen for quite some time. I've known her for probably 14 years, and she never had an issue with weight prior to menopause. And I see that a lot. I mean, if I ask you to raise your hand, I'm sure that many of you would have been in that category, that before menopause, maybe you never had weight issues. Kayleen was in that category, never had weight issues. And then through menopause, she started puffing up, not just putting on weight, but she literally puffed up. And she's one of those that she has to do it by herself. Otherwise, something is wrong, right? She was eating well. She came to me, 59, seemed to be a magic number. Says, Mandakini, I have been trying so hard to lose weight. I have been doing intermittent fasting for 1.5 years. I not only did not lose weight, I've put on weight. It's been very frustrating. I'm exercising, I'm walking the dog, I'm doing things, and it's not shifting. She didn't even have a lot. She just had like 4 or 5 kg she wanted to shift. It wasn't even much, but sometimes 4 or 5 kg is just the difference between you feeling really comfortable with yourself or really uncomfortable with yourself. So, okay, she decided to reach out for help. Mandakini, can you help? Yes, let's find out. And it was interesting because the first week we worked together, I got her to just show me all the foods and drinks she eat in a day. And I followed her for a week, didn't put any changes. We didn't implement any changes. Just I wanted to follow what she's doing within a week. And this girl was barely eating. I mean, she wasn't even eating maybe 800 calories a day. There was no snacks, there were no sugary things. It was, by normal standards, by healthy, normal standards, she was eating quite healthy. Needless to say, we implemented the changes. We followed the system, the 4-step system that I'm sharing with you. We started nourishing our hormonal system. We started doing the correct exercises, the right foods. And in the space of 4 weeks, she lost 4 kg and 6 centimeters from around her waist. Remember this magic number, losing the centimeters around her waist. She was elated. She couldn't believe. She says, Mandakini, are you sure that I can eat all this food and lose weight? She was very suspicious at the beginning because she was so used to restricting her food that when I gave all these recipes and showed her all the food that she should be eating, she was like, really? Anyway, words elated were some of the words that over the moon, she just couldn't believe that her results that she was getting. Gita was the same, nurse, lovely. I must seem to attract nurses. Maybe they like the information. I seem to have a lot of nurses in my life. She had 10 kg to lose. She had a goal. She wanted to slim down and fit to a dress for her son's wedding. So we started working together. We took us a little bit longer. We worked over 5 months, but that's because Christmas was in the middle, and Christmas, as you would appreciate, is not very conducive to weight loss and slimming. But she loved it. She loved also not just the weight loss and the slimming, but she also loved how good her skin was looking. And she loved that whole aspect of caring and taking care of herself. And she works in doctor's surgery. So she had a skin doctor come to her while we were working together, and she was implementing all these changes and compliment her on her skin. I love that because a lot of time we get that women coming, oh, I'm getting all these compliments about how good my skin is looking. Look, I've been doing it for a long time, ladies, so I can have lots of, I can tell you more and more stories. But the bottom line is, so the 4-step system is education, nutrition, the correct activities, the correct exercise, and the support. These are the 4 steps. Now, you have the information now, but the thing is, knowledge is not power if it's not applied. So let me ask you a loaded question. If I had it's loaded, you and I know it. If I had a magic wand that I could wave it for you to lose the weight, to get a stronger back, to reduce those centimeters from around your waist, to reduce stress, to sleep better, to have a stronger back, to improve your digestion, to feel less bloated, to get into better eating habits, to feel more motivated, to have that glowing skin, to feel deeply nourished on all levels. Would you want me to wave it? Of course you would. Okay, hands up. Who want me to wave the magic wand? No, nobody? Just me? Okay, excellent. So look, I do have a magic wand, but that magic wand takes your involvement because as good a mentor as I can be, it takes 2 to tango. I can guide, but you would have to take the steps. So the thing is, my gift to you, as I promised you a gift, is that after this talk, I welcome you to book a call with me where we get to discuss your needs. And, there's many ways that I work with people. I work sometimes in a group setting. I work with women on a one-on-one, some combination. And I need to know, we need to find out whether we are a match. I need to know what your priority list is. Is it weight loss? Is it libido? I just started working with a woman that her top priority, she's my age, 61. She just got married. She's got a new husband and her libido is down. He wants it more than her. And she reached out So we've only been working together for 2 weeks, but it's already looking good. She just had a good weekend. I rang her today. I had to know what happened over the weekend. So it's looking good. So everybody has, you have different needs. Maybe you've had surgeries. Maybe you're on some medication, cholesterol lowering drugs. Maybe you're taking thyroid medication. I don't know what your needs are. Maybe you need to lose only 5 kg. Maybe you have 35 kg. So our solutions are tailor-made depending on who is in front of us. So our lovely event manager, Teresa, will now put a link in the chat box that you can click on the link and book a talk with me. And let me just show you what it would look like. Sometimes people have hesitation, oh, I'm booking into a sales call. Guys, I'm not so good at sales. I'm good at health. So I'm there to talk to you about your health and your health needs and to see if we're a match for each other. If I can help you, if not, if what I have is for you, if where you are on the scale of 1 to 10, is it your time to make changes, implement changes? And all it will look is exactly like this. You and me on a phone call, on a Zoom call, actually. And if you're not sure where that chat is and what that link is, you all received a text from me today. You have my phone number. If you cannot figure out how to do this Calendly link, that's fine. You just text me, Mandakini, I'd love to have this chat with you. It's obviously free, it's complimentary, it's obligation free, and we can just have a chat about your health. And it's a free wellness assessment and put you on the right track. Now, ladies, I want to leave you with this. I think you've spent with me enough time, even if you've just met me tonight. I think you realize how much I care about health, how much I care about your health. To me, health is at the top of the list, because without your health, what have you got? Like, what have you got? If you're not well, you can't move very well. You can't feel good about yourself. When they've interviewed people on their deathbed, they wished for only 3 things. They didn't wish that they had more time in the office. They just wished for better health. They wish for more time with their loved ones, and they wish to have more courage to take risks with things. So, the thing is also at our age, and I'm saying our age, whether you're 40 plus, 50 plus, 60 plus, the older we get, sorry, newsflash, the more effort we have to put into our health. If you want to age strong, if you want to look and feel as strong and, going forward, the older we get, the more mature we get, the more work we have to put into our health. But you can reverse your biological age within weeks, just with some change of diet. You can reverse your biological age within weeks. Like you've heard from our ladies, you can reduce your cholesterol in weeks. People take drugs for years for cholesterol lowering drugs. 4 weeks, we reduced cholesterol later. People take drugs for their diabetes for years. Just within weeks, we can reduce diabetes level. So your body is so important, because when you have better health, not only you're slimmer, not only you're stronger, but you can show up better. You can have more fun because you can do stuff. Some of you want to be there to play with your grandkids, with your kids. Maybe some of you want to build a business. Why not? Some people want to start a business at 60. What's wrong with that? Right? So with your health, but without your health, you can't, it's not so much fun. Without your health, the doctor is going to start giving you drugs and telling you what to do. Okay, so I think I've made my point clear. Teresa, lovely, if you can just drop that link just one more time. Ladies, I thank you for your time, because I know your time is very, very, very precious. So I urge you to, if you felt that you could resonate with something that I said tonight, and some of it made sense to you, book that call. You've got nothing to lose and you've got everything to gain. For some of you that are on the call, I know that your life got changed. Some of the women that have reached out after a call like this, it's made a massive difference. So why not you? Okay, I thank you for joining us. I look forward to hearing from you because nothing gives me more pleasure than seeing women's life transform. So have a great night. Thanks for joining, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thanks. Bye, 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 bye.